Okay, welcome back, gentlemen. Today we have the debut of Orth 5801 and Asteron. So, at the time of the recording of this video, Girth McSlammer is no longer the king of the hill. No, there's a new top dog in town, new sheriff in town is Asteron. He is currently the rank 1 on the leaderboards in terms of Elo. So, congratulations to Asteron. Well played. Well played. Now, not entirely sure what happens in this video. All I know is that Ort sent it in here and he said that, it was pretty good. Or at least he seems to think it was pretty good against Asteron. So we'll find out. We've got eco boosting only on 2 cities here for Asteron. He's deploying his armor reserves into the front here. We had some slight minor naval gameplay, but oh, okay, hang on. Right, I missed that. We've got some actual good naval gameplay going on. I love it. I love it. Trying to go for the cutoff here in the south. He's got 4-1 dot advantage, so it wasn't necessary to go through the whole outflanking maneuver, but he's got style, so he went for it. And he's going to withdraw. Okay, fair enough. No need to do anything too rash in the opening. You just gotta play it cool. There has been no sign of any major offensive on either side here. Red is now pulling back his northern force here. Red has slight advantage here on the north side of this map because he's got one city that's already across on the river, but it is, pretty far back on the right. Whereas blue does not have any cities and he has to funnel everybody across this bridge. And we are seeing a strategic redeployment here of the dots. All of Asteron's armor is now withdrawing from the northern embankment into the center. The minor naval play that happened in the south, that's done for. Asteron has now pulled basically everybody out of there. Orth has deployed a single armor unit to support the 2 lights in the south here. But no, Asteron is building up a massive force concentration in the center. And we already see here minor engagements here. He's just looking to get trying to chip away at some of the defenders here in this isthmus, trying to deplete the morale, trying to get in and deplete the health. Yeah, he's going for it. Just trying to isolate small areas of the engagement zone like this and trying to get an advantage. Very similar to how Guth plays. Well, what more should we have expected? He is now rank 1. But I like this. I like this. There's a lot of naval stuff. Asteron, come on, man. Where have you been? Where have you been? My man. He So then we had one play in the beginning here along this side. We had another play in the south where he almost got the cutoff and encirclement. And now we've got very aggressive positioning along the river line here. Orth is not trying to do any major maneuvers himself on the north side. He's not rotating his armor. Okay, so there's about a 60-second advantage to Asteron in terms of force concentration. He's already started the offensive. He's already pulled up all the reserves that he needs to really start making good gains in terms of territory. Will it be enough? Uh, but progress is being made. The tanks will be able to get there to plug up any holes that Asteron punches through in the center line here. In terms of eco, in terms of troops, pretty much even. 10,000 and an advantage to Asteron, but 10,000, that could change in like 30 seconds, no problem. Cycling going around. Got this big mountain here. The players have to be careful. Asteron's building tanks, yo. Well, well, well. This might be a very interesting game. Yeah, okay. I haven't been paying too much attention to Ort's build orders. I'm not entirely sure if he has built anything much. I think he has built a light or two. Okay, moves in the north. North is sensing opportunity, and it does kind of exist. Sadly, since he's withdrawn most of his forces, it's an even match, 4-4 dots. Asteron's armor making some interesting moves back across the river. All right, no, Asteron is not interested in trying to fight here. He sees that move coming in, and now he's just withdrawing back to the bridge. it'll be very difficult for all to try again in encirclement just because how thin the river is. No real way to get any kind of passive power projection advantage to get a really good encirclement going. But Orth is at the yeah. He tried. He tried. Props up for that. Now it's whether or not Orth realizes that the southern flank here is completely undefended. He's got a clear line of attack into Asteron cities. Now I have played this map quite a few times before, and I've had a couple of like major battles that played out. And trying to go for the cities here, it is tough. It is quite easy to rotate the forces around through the lake or this pass here. So long as you've got your micro on point, you can funnel the troops in without getting them into a very big traffic jam, and you can get the forces in to defend it quite easily. But yeah, a naval invasion. That's what I've tried to do before, and the only thing you need to keep in mind is the timing. It's like right here, it is very possible to do that. Very possible to snipe this city in time before Asteron can get any forces around. But it all comes down to timing, all comes down to preparation. We shall see if any such play gets made in that sector. Right. No breakthrough in the center. Force concentration is still very much in favor of Asteron here. If this fight keeps going the way it does, he will eventually make it to a city. Whether or not he'll have enough strength to capture it after that all comes down to Ort's capability of cycling his forces rapidly. It does look like Orth has gone tanks as well. So we have a full armor build on each side, I believe. Or we're getting there. 30,000 troops in favor of Asteron right now. Standard cycling still going on. I'm going to bump up the replay by 1 tick here. Yep. That's War of Dots, baby. That's War of Dots. What can I yap about? Have not been able to talk about science fiction lately. Yes, yes. I've been trying to watch Babylon 5. Everyone's told me Babylon 5 peak science fiction or something along those lines. I've watched the first 5 episodes and I just can't quite get to it. I think my brain has been rotted so much that if I don't quite know what's going to happen, long form kind of content because old TV shows, the episodes do go on for quite a bit. You know, it's like 40, 45 minutes to an hour. Like, yeah, even when I'm rewatching things, I will now skip the episodes which like don't interest me. That wasn't the case in the past. In the past, I would watch a series like every episode in order from start to finish. That's when I was rewatching, science fiction shows. I can't do that anymore. Like if I already remember what the plot is and how the story goes for certain episodes and whether they're like good or bad or if I enjoy watching it or not, I will just skip it. The problem with like starting to watch a new series, especially with science fiction shows, it's very common that the first season or the first 2 seasons are like very weak. Star Trek: The Next Generation, for example. Okay, hang on. Orth has finally figured out that there's nothing here in the south. Yo, slight encirclement. His supply lines broke there. Now, Orth, you can't do it like this, man. Now once you've gotten this point and you see this, yeah, Asteron can already see, and this is very good. I like it. I like it. Asteron understands that he needs to get forces redeployed. He goes straight to the lake, changes the navy units, and then is getting ready to sail to the other side. He hasn't fully committed it because he can see that Orth made it all the way up here. He can only see about 2-3 units, and he has stopped. So Asteron is playing it cool. Asteron is a very, very cool customer. That's what I've seen so far in most of his maneuvers, especially up here in the north about like 5 minutes ago. He's not like that rash a player to just start immediately moving once he sees the enemy telegraphing his moves. And he's going for the cutoff. Can he do it? Can he get there in time? He needs about 3 seconds to convert the navy units back into land, and they need to convert because only land units can power project, which will enable him to get the encirclement here. But no, Orth has managed to deploy forces along the coastline, prevented the conversion. and now he's soundly beaten it. But yeah, that's what I was saying. No, Asteron is a very cool customer. Just because he sees the enemy telegraphing a move, he doesn't just immediately start throwing everybody to the other side. He's able to rationally identify and analyze. It's like, okay, he's only got this many dots deployed on this flank. My city is not in immediate danger of me falling. I can take my time to come up with a plan to, build a task force, allocate so many dots to this next operation, and then go for it that way. Capture of the island here, I like it just because more naval gameplay. But once again, does it actually do anything? Gives him some vision into the back line here. You can get a vision on the reserves and the status of it. But that's about it. We have a tank going into the water. We're converting it. Heavy naval unit. What's cooking? What's cooking, Asteron? Hmm. Okay, okay. Yeah, he's going for it. Finally got another replay. Top tier with naval warfare. Very minor naval warfare, has granted, but this is what we call pawn gaming in Foxhole. But it's still Navy. He is. Okay, so he's not happy with Orth having this island. So he's going to push him off it with his heavy Navy units. That's nice. I suppose he just doesn't like the fact that Orth can see just a little bit of his reserves by pushing the front line that far back. Okay, I'm learning something new today. We've got top players having, yeah, seeming to think that it is very important to deny the enemy vision of that kind. As I said in previous videos as well, at any point in the game, players are already allowed to see all the troop counts, funds, and casualties throughout the entire game from start to finish. It's very, very rare to get plays where one player manages to deceive the opponent and makes a very drastic strategic remaneuvering of forces and catches opponent off guard. It usually happens more on the lower end of the elo scale. But yeah, not good trades. Navy units against land units. He is getting there though. Almost got him. A very costly battle for Asteron here. And there he goes. He got it. Orth has decided not to pursue the southern offensive anymore. He has left one armor unit here chilling in the south. Uh, yeah, one dot advantage, especially if you had given it to a player like Girth. That's all he needs to basically win the whole game. One dot on one front, more than enough to change. Yeah, this guy needs to be pulled out if you want to get the maximum out of it. Asteron so far has not showcased any real movements to the south. Of course, that doesn't mean that he won't go for it. He might be playing some three-dimensional chess himself and say, well, he may not be anticipating me going to the south. I'll now pivot to the south. Could very much happen. Could very well happen. But right now, right now you're playing into this game. He's played the entire game so far by concentrating his entire army into the center, and he's already gotten some space out of it. Orth has done very good job of cycling his units. He has managed to keep the stalemate just where it is. Even with a couple of his dots all chilling out on the flanks here, as we said. One armor unit in the south, and he's got these three lights chilling out here in the north, staring down this one lone blue dot. So yeah, minor things. But then again, Asteron is the number one player at the time of this recording. Um, so yeah, I think it would be in your best interest to bring some dots over. Right. Okay. Still static on the front line. No new major maneuvers going on. Back to the Yap session. So yeah, long form videos and old TV episodes and whatnot. I know my attention span isn't completely cooked because I went and watched a movie from start to finish in the theater, in the film, in the cinema. Sorry, it was what was it? It was Project Hail Mary. Yeah, and that was like 2.5 hours long. It wasn't it wasn't a short movie. I thoroughly enjoyed that film. Yeah, I my expectations for that one was like really low, and I actually did not enjoy the first half an hour because it was a little bit too much. How do I say? Without spoiling anybody, the humor and the comedy it wasn't quite my style, but it starts to grow on you after the first half an hour. And I think what made it really good was that the film didn't necessarily take itself too seriously, but at the same time it was sincere. Like sincerity on the big screen been a big problem for modern screenwriting. But nah, when the film needed to be serious and when the characters had to go through hardships, they didn't just crack jokes like they do in Marvel movies these days and try to diffuse the tension and get rid of any seriousness. No, it had genuine sincerity and it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But yeah, going back, Babylon 5. No, I don't know if I'll be able to continue that. I do not know. I might just try. But yeah, science fiction films usually the first two seasons or so usually are quite weak. Star Trek: The Next Generation, that the first two seasons are pretty weak. But however, some of the best episodes in not just Star Trek, but in all of science fiction, just so happen to be from the first two seasons of Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's a paradox, I know, but it is what it is. The Measure of a Man, that one, that's peak science fiction. It's not just good Star Trek; it's just good science fiction overall. What else is there? There's a couple more episodes that are really good, but they're just not. Yeah, not coming to my mind right now. Damn. Star Trek Enterprise first two seasons were also very weak, but then the third season and the fourth season I thought was great. Apparently, not a lot of people liked Enterprise. Enterprise to me is still one of my favorites. Okay, we just saw a dot here die out of supply. Asteron is at 262,000 troops, but judging by the amount of dots he has on the board, I think he's already reached his dot cap. Yeah, he needs to stop building. Yeah, he has stopped. His eco is now stagnated. Cap up here, down by 60,000. No, he's got plenty of, yeah, he's got plenty of room to build in terms of army comp. Asteron has completely given up the entire north. There was a dot here, and that's been pulled back. Yeah, these units they need to be doing something. They can't just be sitting here all the time. And this lone army unit in the south, yeah, you definitely in your best interest to try mobilize these dudes. Asteron will eventually win the Battle of Attrition here. He is actually already winning. He's already up 60,000 troops. Oh, I'd give it about another 4 or 5 minutes before we see a major breakthrough, assuming the battle goes on the way that it has been going on so far. You really need to just these few dots is what you need. Yeah. Both players did build tanks. So yeah, both they're quite prepared going for the long game, but Astron is very much favored in that fight now. So, what was I saying about? Oh yeah, Enterprise. Yeah, no, I liked Enterprise. Um, yeah, but apparently I'm in a minority for that one. Yeah, I watched the first few episodes of Discovery, then dropped it immediately. People tell me that Strange New Worlds is pretty good, but nah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't get fully. Bushisms. You gotta love him. Yeah. I was trying to rewatch Stargate SG-1, but what happened was was that I started rewatching it, and then I said to myself when we got to the later seasons, like, okay, I have never touched Atlantis before. Why not? Why not? I'm not doing anything, right? And then what happened after that was that Atlantis was just so good. I just watched that from start to finish and completely forgot about SG1. Um, it was my initial intention to watch side by side the episodes as they came out as they were initially released. Um, I found a Excel sheet where someone put up like in which order chronologically SG1 and Atlantis and the movies, how they all are supposed to be watched in order basically. Because there's a very, very slight minor overlaps here and there. There's a couple of episodes where, it's a crossover event, or a movie will make a statement where they say something about something that happened in the other TV show. Because they were running in parallel at one point. But nah, I enjoyed Atlantis too much. I might just rewatch Atlantis again. It's not in my style to rewatch a series twice in a year. It's usually like a yearly thing for me. You rotate around the different series that you watch, but I might break that tradition. We shall see. We shall see. The front line for those listening at home has deteriorated in favor of Asteron. Cycling has just been constant on both sides, but Asteron has come out on top. He's just had better cycling and better force concentration. Like Oth has just left 4 dots that have not seen combat for the last 15 minutes or so. It's that's literally all you need, and especially since Astron is number one, we'll just go on that metric that he's probably on a very similar skill level as Girth. Although, as far as I know, I don't think he's beaten Girth in a one-on-one. Could be wrong. From what Girth commented in one of my previous videos, only 2 players have beaten him. Icy Dot, who has beaten him twice, and damn, I can't remember who. What is it? Ashton? Ashton, have you beaten Girth? Is, do I need to go look it up? Where's my phone? God damn it! I'm gonna look it up in real time. Okay, we finally have movement here on the north. He's going for it. He has realized that the situation has deteriorated so badly. He's just gonna send the 2 lights on the northern peninsula, the northern embankment, across the river. Not a good trade. Not looking good. Southernmost armored units now being rotated. I believe I pressed the button here. What happened to morale bars? Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. Armor unit now being rotated into the center. Ah, look at this front line though. Damn. There's barely anybody actually on the front line. Oh. Everyone's either 50% or 25% depleted or lower. Yikes. And there are no reserves. The reserves have been committed. We're almost at a 2-to-1 troop ratio advantage in terms of Asteron here. Actually, no, I think we already have passed it. Yeah, we have passed it. Asteron is already has a 2-to-1 troop advantage that is strategically decisive. All it needs to do is just kick down the front door, and that's basically it. It's Jover. Yep. The decision to have saved the game for Orth here needed to have been made like 20 minutes ago. Sorry, 15 minutes ago. 20 minutes too far. Yeah, it just came down to force concentration. Just having the few dots hanging around on the sides here. Cycling, I think he did all right in terms of cycling. Just very minor details here. Shift in favor of Astron, and then he gets the win just like that. Once you see that the troops are going down against you, and once it crosses like I'd say a 30,000 or 40,000 troop deficit, it's at that point you really need to just step back and reevaluate the whole situation. Because if it's gotten that far, that bad for this long, sorry, for that long, you need to do something. Yeah, that's the indicator to use, the troop count in the bottom right there. That's the way to gauge. Because if you were to just like evaluate just the dots purely through, including the fog of war, if you're playing the game, it's quite hard to judge as to how much cycling is going on and who's having the cycling advantage, basically. It is quite hard to judge just purely of visuals alone when you're playing the game. Troop counter in the bottom right is your friend. Is there anything that Orth can do now? I don't think so. There's not enough opportunities to make any drastic maneuvers anymore. Asteron has garrisoned his three southernmost cities, all with armor. Trying to snipe any one of these cities now is going to be quite difficult. It was much easier in the early to mid game. Orth is actually holding out pretty well. He has taken significant losses of dots. A couple of armor units have already been eliminated on the front line. Uh, Still trying to pull units to the front, trying to get some cycling. Ah, damn. You tried. You tried. And yeah, that's it. Called it quits. He conceded the game. Well, there's that. If you have a replay that you think might be interesting, that you want me to cast, find me on the War of Dots Discord server. Don't send me a friend request. DM me the replay file, short description of why you think the game was interesting. And don't forget to put in also your in-game name if it's not the same as your Discord. So that way I know during the replay as I watch it who's who. And yeah, thanks for watching.